All right, everybody, it's a nice sunny Saturday morning. Still a little chilly out. It's only like 20 degrees. But my helper Moose and I came back out here to the Montana garage to get a start on working on patching this hole in. I did experience, or I found one more little heating woes issue that I have out here in the shop. I know last time I was out here, I pretty much ran my propane tank out. So this morning before I came out, I was gonna grab my tank and go fill it up. So I had a little heat, and I'll show you out here where my tank is. My new problem that I have with heating the shop. We had a couple warm days earlier in the week. As you can see, this all melted and turned to ice. Well, this is my 100-pound propane tank, and it is solid like rock in there. I don't suppose it'd probably be a very good idea to heat that up with a little fire or bang on it with a hammer. I kicked on it pretty good. Try to loose it up out of the ice so I can go fill it up, but she's in there pretty solid. So anyways, guess I gotta wait for another warm day to get my tank out of the ice. So for today, I'll fire up the little rocket heater. We'll try to get some work done. All right, so today's project is patching this hole in the quarter panel. We got our little inner door all done, or done for now. And so, if you watched the last few videos, I already got a patch piece made. And I got, oh, hey Moose, what are you thinking? Is it gonna fit? I guess he's not as interested as he thought he was there for a second, or he acted like he was there for a second. Anyways, so I got the patch and it fits, I think, pretty darn good. So what I'd like to do is just rip this tape off here and grab the welder and just start buzzing this in. But what I'm going to do is cut some sheet metal scraps, obviously the same gauge as this, and then just set them up on the welding table and just do a little practicing. It's sheet metal, so all I'm doing is tack welds. I'm not running a lot of long beads or anything, but mostly I just want to get my technique down. I want to get the welder dialed in because I'm welding with basically no gap, and I want the welder set up so each little tack weld is just on the cusp of burning through so you get good penetration. Ain't that right, Moose? Anyway, so I'm going to set the welder up, cut some scraps out, and just do a little practicing before I get going on the quarter panel, because I don't know, I just want to do as good of a job as I can on this. I don't want to, just go to town and end up destroying it. So I'm going to practice a little bit. Never hurt anybody, right? Getting ready to use the new Ingersoll Rand die grinder to make some practice pieces, and some of you guys will like this, I think. Just see if I can film it, but got a little air tool oil here, and we'll a little more probably than needed. A couple drops in there, and see if I can be better about keeping my shit oiled up so it'll last longer. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is just verifying the thickness of my metal, which I thought was 20 gauge, but I got this little sheet metal gauge here. I got this one from Eastwood, but they have them on Amazon, so I'll put a link to one. I think you can actually get the same Eastwood one on Amazon. So yeah, 20 gauge, so that's what I'm going to practice with. I got some more sheet metal here that is also 20 gauge. And then I'm just going to tell you guys, for those of you that don't know this, and I didn't know this before I started doing this, but I put a few, probably in every video, I'm going to have a couple links to some sort of tool or some sort of product, and it's always going to be on Amazon. And I don't know how you people feel about Amazon. I like to shop local when I can, but I know a lot of people live where they can't shop local, and we do buy a fair amount of stuff on Amazon, but I support shopping local, and I hope you do too. But if you do ever shop on Amazon, even if you don't need, like, I'm going to put a link to this little guy in here, but if you don't need one of these, but if you're going to go to Amazon and you're going to buy, I don't know, whatever you're going to buy on Amazon, some laundry detergent. I don't know what people buy on Amazon. But if you go to my video and you click on this link and you don't buy this, but then you go to your laundry detergent and you buy your laundry detergent, I get a little bit of a commission on that, even though you didn't buy this tool. So that's just a way that you can support, not only myself, but any other YouTuber or anybody you watch that has links to this stuff. You know, it's nice that you guys, I don't have t-shirts and hats, but I've bought t-shirts and hats from other guys that I support, and I know a lot of you folks do the same. But clicking through on the Amazon link to just do your regular shopping, it's not going to cost you any extra, and then it's going to support me or whoever you do that for. So I don't know if people know that. I didn't know it before I you know, kind of became, it's part of the Amazon affiliate program, I guess. So anyways, maybe that's a giant secret. I'm not supposed to tell you guys that, but if you want to show a little support to me or any of the other people you watch, if they got links, click that link and then go do your shopping. And you know, I'm not going to make a bunch. I'm making a buck or two, but if a lot of people do it, it all adds up, and it helps support what we're trying to do out here in the Montana garage. So anyways, and the other thing is, if I do recommend something, I'm not just doing it because I'm trying to make a buck or two. It's because it's something that I like. I'm not an expert at anything, but just letting people know what I'm using, and it's worked for me. I'm not going to recommend something that's garbage. So anyways, I appreciate anybody that clicks on those links and does a little shopping. Helps everybody out. All right, I got the welder fired up. Let's go through the setup again here. So C25 gas is what we're using. We got that stuff set up right. We are using 030 wire. So sheet metal, a lot of times I use 025, but I think it's been a while since I looked at all this stuff, but this guy that I'm kind of trying to use his technique, I think he actually recommends 030 anyway. So we're gonna make 030 work. We're gonna go with 20 gauge. That's the metal we're using. So we're all set up. So that's the initial settings. I'm probably gonna end up bumping that up a little bit because, like I said, I wanna be just barely on the cusp of burning through. So let's check out. I just got these pieces of metal I already had just laying around from when I cut out the patches or something. I got two pretty straight edges here. So I'm gonna weld in this gap so I don't have nothing behind it, so it's similar to what, you know, when it's on the car, I'm not gonna have anything backing up the weld. So I'll start over here and I'll do a couple tacks, and this is a little experiment that I've seen, and we're gonna see what the heat does to this with just a couple little tacks. So as you can see, I got a magnet on there, and these are lined up, you know, pretty darn good. They're nice and tight, no overlap right here, right? So keep an eye on this spot right here. We'll see what happens. I should probably consider washing this welding hat one of these days. That's pretty gross. I can't believe a guy'd even put that on his head. Anyways. Alright, I think we definitely need to be hotter. So we're at 15. I feel like we got to be quite a bit hotter, so I'm going to go to 16 volts. That sounded and looked better. I don't know if we got enough penetration. Not too bad. I'm going to skip down just a hair. I'm actually going to go a smidge hotter, 16.5. I haven't adjusted the wire speed yet. Let's see if we need to play with that. Torch cable. It seems like the wire kind of binds up in there. Need to get it straightened out more, I guess. All right, so I did 3 little tacks. That one was a little cold. That one was a little better. That one was a little better. We're getting, so we want to have almost a bead on the back. Now the thing that's interesting that I'm going to show you is just these 3 little tacks, and this metal right here was flush when I started. This metal now is on top of that metal. From the shrinking of this, it's made these overlap. So now this deal. Hey Moose, you're gonna, I guess I need to be careful with welding out here with you again, huh? I need to get you some little welding goggles. All right, and you need to hop down right now and burn yourself. So in theory, a guy should be able to hammer on these welds and then bring that back. All right, so I didn't film it because I only got 2 hands, but I hammered and dollied on these 3 beads that I just put on, and then that stretched it back out to where this overlap is now gone. So that's what I got to do on the quarter panel. I got to do little spot welds, and then you go along and hammer and dolly to get rid of the distortion. So that's pretty amazing how that little bit of heat does that, and how a little bit of hammering on it makes it go away. So we'll keep practicing. All right, I think I got her close to where I want her. Let's do a few more tacks and see how we feel about it. Again, this look, I got her tacked here. I got a nice tight fit, and it's pretty much flush on this end. I can wiggle that back and forth. So let's see what happens when we tack her again. So fairly flat bead, really good penetration. We basically got a weld bead on both sides. And already, just with that one weld, look, now I can't bring these past each other. The shrinkage just makes that, it's amazing. So now, it's hard to do this, but basically that's what I'm gonna do on the car. I'm gonna weld some beads. I'm actually gonna grind them a little first, but then you hammer and dolly the weld. Like this, huh? Now see, what I'm trying to figure out is how much I got to hit it and how hard I got to hit it, and obviously I got to do more. Now I'm able to bring that past there again. All right, so yeah, look at that. We're getting really good penetration. I think that's about where I'll leave her, and we'll try making some sparks on the car. All right, so one more aspect I'm trying to practice here, I gotta duck down so I get in the shot, is as you do your tacks, you gotta overlap them. And so, you know, it looks like on the front side where I'm welding that they're overlapped, they're touching each other pretty good. But when you flip it around, for the most part they're good, but you can see I'm leaving a couple little spaces. So I gotta train myself to start more on the previous bead. So I got to overlap them a little bit more. That's how you get the little pinholes, and we don't want a bunch of pinholes. So we're going to try to overlap a little tighter. On that one, I'm not sure what I did different, but see, I started to get a little burn through, and that's what we don't want, but we also want this good penetration, so it's just kind of a matter of dancing right on that edge. Easy enough to fill that little hole in. I just don't want to have to do that a bunch of times on the quarter panel and create a bunch more heat and warpage than we have to. So the front, you know, again, they look all pretty overlapped. And I think I got a little better once I noticed it, but you can see on the back where we're missing some spots. So we want to make sure we work on overlap a little more. I think I got the welder fairly close to where I like it. I'll probably slice this in half, or probably in half this way, and then run at least one more bead so I can work on that overlap. All right, so here's our last practice piece. Definitely a long ways to go. I mean, there's no doubt that there's a weld there. It's not like it disappeared. But I got really good penetration. If I look up at the light, I only got one pinhole, and that's just a little spot that I think I actually, missed. So right there, there's a spot. But look at that good penetration. So my welder is definitely plenty hot enough. So it's just going to be a matter of, controlling those beads and then figuring out how hard or how much to planish each one to try to keep from distorting the metal. But I mean, that thing's pretty flat still, and it's harder, I think, with a little piece like this because there's nothing holding these edges in place. I don't know, like I said, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. I read some stuff from a guy and I'm trying it, and so I think we'll go over on the car and see what happens. All right, well, no time like the present, I guess. Gotta freaking go for this at some point. I think I got her where I wanted to start. It's not quite even everywhere, but I got it nice and fleshed out right here on the bottom. That's where I'm gonna put my first tack. So I'll tack it there, and then it's pretty even over here. So far I'll tack it there, and then I'll press these where they need to be. Try to get one tack on each side, and then I'll evaluate if it looks like everything's good and it's a go, or if we gotta abort mission and start over. So, where did I put all my stuff at? All right, well, we got her tacked on each corner, or not each corner, but each side, I guess. And we're pretty flush at each of the tack points. Actually, maybe a little proud right there. I'm gonna have to redo that one. It's good on this side. A little hammer work, probably straighten that out. And then I'm just gonna have to, so I'm gonna tack my way around, I think, just like it is. And then obviously I'll have to pull the patch out, pull it out, or push it in to be flush as I go. Yeah, so I don't think I want to like tack each corner. I think I just want to leave it as it is and then work my way around so I don't get kind of jammed up, I guess. All right, I haven't been filming much because this is pretty frustrating. I don't know if it's just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, or I think I'm having some issues with my welder. Like the wire's like dut, 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 dut. And I know you adjust your wire speed, but all in the same settings. You know, I'll have a weld that looks like this one, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And the next one, it's like the wire is just bouncing off it and it just piles up. So I'll do that a couple times, then I'll have a good one. I'm not doing anything different, but it feels like the wire is like kind of sticking. I tried cleaning my tip out. I almost think that my torch hose is screwed up or something. I don't know. If I just pull the trigger, it seems like the wire comes out pretty smooth though. So it's probably something I'm doing, but I can't figure it out. Like, look at all these freaking little spot welds I've done trying to figure it out, because I think I'll have it good. And then I'll do one and it'll just freaking bounce off the metal and pile up like this one. You know, like that one and that one might have been in the same freaking setting. I can't figure it out. So anyways, it's really pissing me off, or I don't know, if I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I feel like I'm kind of destroying this quarter panel, so I'm gonna do a little investigate and see if I can't figure out what the hell's going on before I make it too much worse. Frustrating. Bring you back for another update. Moose and I got this patch all welded in, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't film a lot because I was struggling. I'm gonna blame it on the welder. I think there's something wrong with I got a clean tip on it, but I think the welding torch, if there's a liner in there or something, I think the wire is not coming out super smooth. And 5 or 6 tacks in a row, it'd be perfect. You know, nice bzz, nice flat bead, good penetration, nice hot weld, and then just all of a sudden I wouldn't change anything and the weld would be like dut, 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 and just not penetrating and just piling up on the metal. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong, but like I said, I wasn't changing anything, doing anything different. So I kept messing with the welder settings, and I did 8 million practice tacks trying to figure out what was going on with it. And I don't know, it's probably something I'm doing wrong, but I was struggling with that thing. So I don't know if it really affected how the patch turned out, other than it took me a lot longer. And there's a few spots where I had to kind of re-weld some areas because, like I said, it wasn't burning in. So anyways, if you have any ideas what that might be, let me know, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, obviously. But anyways, we got it done. It didn't turn out as pretty as I would have hoped it was going to turn out, but there's no fuel door there anymore, and it's not bad, I guess. I mean, I guess you can tell me how bad it is. It didn't get all warped up, you know, it's pretty flat still. So you know, for that part, I'm happy. It's just a little low pretty much everywhere where the weld is, which is, you know, it's fine, I guess, because we're going to throw some filler in there. I just was hoping to make it look a little better than this, just for, you know, just for my sake, just for trying to learn how to do this. And I know some guys, like I said, the guy that I was using kind of his method, when he's done with this, you wouldn't even known there was anything there. So I guess you can't expect that on your first couple tries. But yeah, this, like we talked about before, this quarter panel is pretty much garbage anyways. So, I mean, I paid somebody to do this, and look how that turned out. So mine looks just as good as theirs. So, you know, there's a little bit of, not from my repair, there already was, maybe it's up here further, somewhere there's a little bit of like oil canning in this a little bit. So I got one of them shrinking discs. I'll try to mess with that a little bit. But yeah, so this whole thing is going to have a little filler in it, and I guess once that's all done, you'll never know how bad my patch was here. Take a peek at the inside. So we got the fuel door there. You can see I got pretty good, if you can see in there, I can see in there, pretty decent penetration most of the way around. There's a couple small spots where when the welder was acting up, it, you know, the weld just kind of piled up, and I didn't get, there's like 2 1/4-inch spots where you can see there's not great penetration, but there's no pinholes. I shined the light and looked in there. I'll seam seal and undercoat all that inside anyways. But anyways, I guess that's it for Operation Fuel Door Delete. Didn't turn out as good as I had hoped it would, but I guess for what it is and where it is and who did it, it turned out good enough. It'll be fine in the end. So that's it for this video. It's getting late. It's cold because I don't have any heat tonight, and I'm hungry. So we're gonna go in and get something to eat, or me and Moose, he's under the car. We're gonna go inside, call it a night. And I don't know what I'm gonna do in the next video. I don't have my paint booth thing to keep things warm enough built yet. So I got a few things that we need to do on the 57. So maybe on the next video, we'll either do a little work on the 57, or I know a lot of people have had a lot of questions about it. So maybe we'll do a little walk around, talk about what it is and the history of the car a little bit. And like I said, I got a few little small projects we can do on that. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit the little notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't done that. And yeah, come back next time and we'll see what's going on with this bad boy. Thanks for watching.